Hey, today I'm talking about the new thriller western film, The Last Stop in Yuma County. This is Francis Galapi's feature film directorial debut, and it's really good. The basic premise is this gas station in the middle of nowhere, Texas, is the last one for 100 miles, but unfortunately they have run out of gas and are waiting for a fuel truck to arrive. So as more and more people show up, they then gather at the diner next door, and maybe two of the individuals there have just committed a crime, and so tensions are arising. And yeah, no, this movie's really, really good. What struck me right away was, I'm gonna call it the production, but it's really a combination of the cinematography, the direction, and the editing, because there's just so many shots slash editing choices that were so well done. Like, there were a number of long one-er takes that were complex, but they didn't feel show-offy, they felt very natural. Like, that's what the story demanded in that moment. And they were really great too with showing restraint. A great example of that would be during one of them, one of the robbers yells at a different character, and it's a very intense moment. In a lesser film, they would have cut away right before to see who he's yelling at, or like a reaction shot, but it doesn't. It stays on the guy as he yells, up until the moment that he yells, and past when he yells, because that's all we needed. We just needed just what his face is telling us. And that was great. They did so many things just like that throughout the film. Every single time they had to make a choice about something like that, they always made the right choice. And that's definitely a combination of the editor, the director, who are the same person, and the cinematographer. Now, I will say, when I walked out of the movie, I definitely felt like I had a really good experience, but I was like, I feel like there's a little bit of something missing. Just like, to use a metaphor, is missing just like a pinch of salt. I don't know what the metaphorical pinch of salt is, but that was just my thought right away. But as I was driving home and just kind of was sitting with the movie and thinking about it, my mind first went to the character designs themselves and how each of the actors' bodies told a story in and of themselves. For instance, the waitress character, she has a very classic Hollywood body type. She's a strikingly beautiful woman. She's also very small. But in the context of the film, her body tells a story. So we know that she's been married for 17 years and she's like in her mid-30s. So that means that she got married pretty much right out of high school. So she probably married her high school sweetheart. Based on her look, she was probably the most beautiful girl in school. And then she like chose to run her mother's diner, but it's not doing the best financially. So she's this incredibly skinny woman, even though she is surrounded by food all day, whose diner isn't doing great. So that tells you a big part of where her mental health is at. Especially like when you have her next door neighbor at the gas attendant, he's a very large man. And he even has a line about like how he has his dog and like that's all he needs in life. He doesn't need a car or anything. He's just set right there. So it's like he's happy in what his life is, and he's a large guy. And she's probably not happy in her life setup, and she's very, very small. And there's so many more things just like that that I just kept thinking about and realizing as I sat in my car driving home. So even though I initially was like, oh, there's just like a little bit of something missing from this movie that I didn't see, the more I thought about the movie, the more I was like, no, this movie has everything. This movie has so many layers. It was meticulously thought out and put together to the point of like, I have a question about like, how did this one thing happen? And even though I don't have the answer to it in my head, I know that it's in the movie. I need to watch this movie again because I know that the answers to all of my questions are definitely there in the text. I just have to see them and discover them. And it's not a criticism of the movie that I didn't see it on the first pass, just because there are, in a sense, a lot of things going on, even though it is also a very simplistic movie. It's essentially just a movie about people sitting in a diner waiting for a fuel truck to arrive and tensions rising. That just goes to show good filmmaking is like, it appears simple, it still has lots of layers and lots of things going on. So yeah, no, I thoroughly enjoyed this movie and would wholeheartedly recommend it. I want this movie to do well because I want this writer-director to make more things, because I'm very excited to see where his career goes after this. So yes, incredibly well done film, definitely worth a watch. Also, it has a really great ending. I love the ending. It was not what I was expecting, and it really worked for me. And now for my ranking, I put this at number 5 in the really like section. And this is of a total of 31 new movies so far this year.